What up? It's the Grandpa MC coming back at you with another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment for your boy, man. Come on now. Anyway, but yo, this whole Draymond Green thing, I had to make another video. Now this video ain't gonna be about Draymond Green totally, but it's gonna be mostly about Barkley. Cause Barkley, out of all the greats, and the greats outside of Michael Jordan and Akeem Olajuwon, because he won a title, they don't get their props. Barkley, Malone, Stockton, Charles Barkley, Chris Mullin really get the treatment. And these guys were prime time players, better than probably if you wanted to put the top 5 players against them, they wouldn't be able to handle it, because they just anyway. So Barkley went to Philly right after they won the championship in '83. He got drafted in '84 and immediately made an impact. I was watching a little clip on Instagram. They showed a playoff game where he blocked, I think it was Alton Lister. They was playing the Milwaukee Bucks in the playoffs. And Barkley, they say he's 6'4". I think he's more closer to 6'3 and a half. Put the shoes on, that's 6'4". I remember watching Detroit and Philly play one time, and him and Dumars is almost about the same size. And Dumars is 6'3", 6'4", 6'3". That's what he was listed at. So, and Joe Dumars. Anyway, I digress. Let me stay on point. So, Barkley, after Dr. J retired, he was given over the team. They traded Moses Malone before all that, which really, depleted the front line of the Sixers. And the front line was a problem for the Sixers during Chuck's time on it. Barkley was putting up mad numbers, making all-star teams on SportsCenter. Almost every time they showed Philly highlights, Barkley was doing something crazy. Barkley was one of my favorite players in high school, man. I liked Jordan. I was a Bulls fan. I was going for the Bulls or whatever. Barkley was my boy. I got a jersey right now. I got to get it out of storage. I'll show you. It's authentic. It's an authentic one, man. Got it for Christmas one year in high school. So Philly didn't do Barkley any favors with their front office, because they put it basically all on Barkley. Barkley, his backcourt, the one that stayed longest was Hershey Hawkins. They had Johnny Dawkins. Johnny Dawkins was starting to really ball out for him, and then he tore his ACL, and then he wasn't the same, because Johnny Dawkins was one of them speedy guys. And back then, the operations and medicine, whatever, wasn't as good as it is now. So Dawkins fell by the wayside after that. That was one. Then he had Mike Jaminski. Now Mike Jaminski was a very serviceable player, serviceable center. He played for the Nets. He got traded to the Nets. To the Sixers. And it was him and Ben Coleman, if I remember right. Him and Ben Coleman. And then they traded for Rick Mahorn. That was the thump and bump era. That was Barkley's best chance to advance. But unfortunately, he ran up against that team in Chicago, and they was a little bit more ahead of the curve than Philly was. Now, Philly used to put it to Chicago in the regular season sometimes. But as the Bulls started to inch up toward championship level, Barkley's team started to just stay static. I mean, like the Mahorn thing was good for a couple of years, then that faded because Mahorn was about ready to be washed up. And Kaminsky, he lasted for a little bit. He didn't last long. Hershey Hawkins eventually got traded. Then they tried to bring, oh man, what's that dude named William? What's his name? Not William Perry, but Eric Perry. I think he was out of Temple. Sheldon Jones. I mean, players like that. Barkley didn't have a chance. They front office was more incompetent than they was on the same level as Houston. So then Barkley goes through the incident where he was, and at this time he was really, really frustrated, you could tell. And that's when the spitting incident with the little girl, he was very repentant. He was ashamed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it changed things. So then the next year was, I think, his MVP year or something to that effect. And then he got traded in 92. He got traded in 91 to the Phoenix Suns. Best teams Barkley ever played on. Outside of they was kind of old. But best teams Barkley played on. The Phoenix teams. Too bad they ran up against that juggernaut in Chicago. They was number 3? Yeah, they was title number 3. So after that, Barkley and them, they was kept trying to climb, kept trying to recapture, but it just didn't happen. Barkley got older because Barkley was going through a lot of physical things, and the guy was 6'3", playing in the post mostly. So Barkley put in a great showing of himself. And before all this ring culture, which what got Draymond in trouble the other night, as long as you went out on your shield, you could be respected. It was guys that didn't win titles weren't talked about the way they are now. They weren't put down just because they didn't win a title. John Stockton is one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. And it's like he never played. Karl Malone, hold it down for a minute. All right, so Barkley, and the thing about Barkley, and it's saying that Draymond never got it because he think he on the same level as Barkley. Barkley, what helped him last in broadcasting is his great sense of humor, and outside of that, his ability to take a joke. He does not mind being the butt end of the joke. Does not mind at all. Matter of fact, that's the best thing about about inside the NBA is Barkley's humor. Shaq is a little too sensitive. You say the wrong thing about him where it's a sensitive spot, just like Draymond, but he ain't as bad. He will retaliate. And that's what makes it so funny, because Barkley and Shaq are on the same level as far as greatness. The only thing that separates them is the titles. Now Shaq knows deep down inside, that dude that was wearing number 8 that he used to call Showboat was the one that helped him achieve the status he got now. He knows this. Everybody knows it. The evidence is out there. I was watching the NBA back then. I mean, I've been watching the NBA for the longest. But now, these last couple years, I just can't. Like that scene in that game 1 of the Lakers and Oklahoma City Thunder, when Vanderbilt tore his pinky finger, and that's what type of guys are in the league now. God bless them. Nothing against them. Whatever you into, that's what you into. I do not care. That's you. That's you. But that's the sad thing. He's such a funny guy on TV for so long now, is that people think that he's a clown. Barkley ain't no clown, man. Barkley was putting in work, like he said in the videos out there, the interviews out there. He said that when they play in the Bulls, he said they were gonna win the title because ain't nobody better than him. He said that repeatedly. He was saying that in my first year watching basketball. I remember a little special on CBS during halftime, and they were talking to him, and he was like, he doesn't think anybody else is better than him. And he was, back then, it was said, when that was said, he was saying it in the most humble way, but it was the truth. Outside of Jordan, in the Eastern Conference, as far as exciting players, now Ewing, I like Ewing too. Every time Knicks, but anyway, Barkley was box office, and so that crazy little situation last night where he called himself trying to make a joke, because everybody jokes on him, but like, you got to be in the club for that. I remember when I was in the military, and it was this guy. He was from Vietnam, Philippines. Duke Lee. Man, if you out there, man, what up? That was my homie, man. But I used to call him the Goblin, affectionately. And it was because of the things he would do when we were in formation. And I remember him coming to me one morning. I was going to breakfast in the galley. And he was like, Mac, man, them other dudes calling me Goblin, man, I don't like that. I'm like, word? He was like, yeah, man, only you can do that, not them. And it was like that with Draymond. Everybody else can bag on Barkley because he with it. You have no room to talk because you got carried. You're a bus rider, like he said. He didn't say no names, but he's the biggest bus rider. He's a bigger bus rider than Durant. At least Durant, in his first few years in OKC, he was helping bring OKC up. But yeah, man. That's pretty much it, man. Long video. Shout out to my boy Barkley, man. One of my favorite players all time, man. Grandpa out.